Yo, collective. So, you're the type of person who makes the devil consider retiring, okay? Like, you literally got the devil saying, "This bitch just won't give up." And shout out to It's Amanda Lim for this quote and this illustration, because that's a fact, collective. Like, this is just, like, this message, like, it's going to resonate for a select few. It's not going to be for a majority of people, right? Because we understand, collective, that most people, the majority of people, give up. They give up before the going gets good. They give up before they even start. Give up before they even try. They give up right before their breakthrough, right? Even you, I feel like you've done this before in the past. You used to give up a lot, but you didn't give up on yourself completely. Like, you might have gave up on an idea. You might have gave up on a habit. You might have gave up on a personality trait. There were little things that you tried to give up about yourself, but you didn't completely give up on yourself, right? And even in your journey, like maybe your healing journey or your self-love journey, self-improvement journey, maybe even then you took detours and thought that you gave up for a period of months, or maybe you got distracted and were around other people that you shouldn't have been around, or doing things you shouldn't have done, but yet and still you somehow jumped back in and got back on course. Collective, this is you. Who am I talking to? But understand that you got the devil, man, and you got the devil doing overtime work to destroy you. Like, your level of resilience, your level of your level of faith is very, very, it's slim to none. It's probably like the top 1% of society, collective. Because again, when you show up confident and you show up as faithful, as you continue to pass these tests and you get to another level, new devils. So, like, you might have went through level 1 through 7, you know what I'm saying? And at first it was a little choppy, a little rocky, it was difficult, but you still managed to navigate through these difficult things. There were Satan, the devil was sending people to you to get you distracted, sending habits and sending spell work and all of these things to try to stop you and destroy you and keep you from focus, right? So, like level 1 through 7, you might have had difficulties, maybe 1 through 4 or something, but as you continue to go through these levels, you got stronger and you leveled up and you learned new things about yourself. You gained new knowledge and insight about you and the world around you, right, collective? So you're wise. You be collecting receipts. As you go through these experiences, it's not like you're just not thinking about them. No, you're actually analyzing, taking data intellectually. You're taking mental notes and you're learning them and you're logging it for your information and for your level ups, right? And so what has been happening is, because your faith has grown, that energy is so magnetic, right? And so people have been relentlessly coming up against you for the past couple of years, collective. They see your glow, they feel your spirit, and Satan does not want you to wake people up. Satan doesn't want you to make others aware of what is happening around them, right? And so that's why you became a target, because your strength becomes a threat. Once it becomes so visible that it becomes impactful to the greater society, this is exactly why you were being targeted. This is exactly why Satan was trying to come after you, collective. But you've already, it's like I feel like your childhood or your earlier years were your practice grounds. It was like your playground field for what you're experiencing now, collective, right? Because a lot of the things that you've went through in your earlier years, you faced a lot of trauma, you faced a lot of pain early on. You know what I'm saying? You dealt with a lot of stuff that other kids didn't do. You didn't get to enjoy your childhood, collective, like other children or other siblings of yours got to enjoy it, right? You were suffering in silence. And those were lessons that you were racking up. Spiritual lessons that you were racking up that you had no clue of. I'm sure you're aware of them now, but back then you didn't know. You were just trying to be a kid, and you couldn't understand why you were having all these nightmares. You couldn't understand why you were always so sad and depressed. You couldn't understand why your family hated you and treated you like an outcast, right? You couldn't understand it at that time. But now I'm sure you know exactly why. You know, looking at where some of your family members are and looking at where you are in life, it's a big difference. So now you see exactly why that had to happen. And so now it's like, even you might even have experienced groups of people now, because the way you walk into rooms, collective, you have this level of confidence that you know you're going to make it, right? Because you've been through some of the worst and you thought you weren't going to make it out. You've called on God and you asked God to continue to be there and protect you and guide you, because you didn't have family or any other loved ones there to protect you. They were actually participating in the fuckery. They were participating in hurting you deliberately, participating in trying to break your spirit. They were agents of the enemy. People in your family, collective, they were. So, but now it's just so crazy because, again, you're experiencing backlash on larger levels now. Now there are groups of people coming up against you and targeting you, right? Because you can handle one person, you can handle a couple people, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like a bunch of people trying to team up to go against you, to break you, to quote unquote humble you, because you walk with a level of confidence that a lot of people have never reached. You walk with a lot of confidence, a level of confidence that a lot of people mistake as arrogance or know-it-all, right? When we know, collective, that the confidence that you walk with comes from surviving these treacherous and tremendous, horrific experiences in life that you thought you probably shouldn't have experienced in the first place. You shouldn't have, you wouldn't have picked that. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't have been your pick of choice, right? But see, that's what they mistake your confidence for. But see, now you're unbothered by it. It actually fuels and motivates you to continue going, right, collective? Like it's pushing you into your purpose more. Like it lit a fire in your soul, right? Because it's like the more people keep trying to come up against you, it's like the more you go hard in your mission. Because they're showing you understand now, you understand now that is evidence of your growth. These people coming up, the people that are coming up against you is evidence of your growth and evidence of your power, collective. You know this though. I feel like you do know this, collective. And it's just so funny because, you know, in the past, you used to be afraid of the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, you used to literally run from just hearing him, you hear that name. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would actually live in fear, you know, a lot of the times. Back before, like, your awakening and your journey, you lived in fear. People could say things, do things, intimidate you very easily. And your nervous system was all out of whack. Very unregulated. So you would get nervous, scared, everything real fast. And so that's how, for a very long time, the devil would control you through fear and through people who could project fear onto you because they see it was working. But again, once you've learned how to put on the full armor of God and you've developed this type of next level faith that's literally like, I don't know, collective, it's next level faith. Because it's blind faith. Like you literally, it's, okay, so let me give you an analogy. It would be like if like let's say you get up in the middle of the night and you have to go to the bathroom and you gotta go all the way down to the hall and over here, but everything is dark, you know, but you know where you're going, right? You've been there, done that. So you don't need no lights. It's pitch dark. You can't see nothing, but you know where you're walking through the light. You're walking through the darkness effortlessly. There might be, you know, stuff around, objects. You're just maneuvering through it, walking through effortlessly. You get to the bathroom, go back, and then walk back through the darkness, navigate through, and go right back to bed. Like, that's how you walk through life now. just effortlessly, collective. Like, people will see something as a tragedy. People will see something as a disappointment, a letdown. People will look at certain situations and they will panic. And here, you, on the other hand, is, you could look at any situation, you could go into any room, and it's not going to throw you off. It's not going to bother you, right? Because you've already been through the worst of the worst in your life. So, and you've seen how far you've came, and you've seen how protected and guided you were through that. You've seen that source God carried you through. So this is why now, even though there are a lot of changes happening in your life, but there are things that you may not see right now. There are certain results or things that are happening behind the scenes that you just trust the process and you don't see, but you're still moving along as if it is already in fruition. Like, see, you, collective, you're not letting nobody stop your shine. You're not letting nobody disrupt your mindset. You're not letting nobody disrupt your feelings and your high vibrations, right? You're staying at peace. And that is key. This is why you're like, the Satan is ready to give up. He's ready to just throw in a towel, because when I tell you the amount of manipulation tactics Satan threw at you, and still don't understand you, still don't understand how you still have so much peace, so much joy, so much happiness after all you've been through. Like, there are some people who are you've literally just created a new possibility for them. You mind fuck them, collective, because in their world, the amount of disrespect and the amount of stuff that you just went through and how you were targeted, it should have broke you. You should have gave up. You should have unalived yourself. You should have been in a mental asylum. You should have done, you should not be still walking around breathing normal in your sane mind. There's no way, collective, the things that you went through. But see, this is the type of faith you have. You have this, I'm not going to say mental retarded type of faith, but you go stupid faith. You got stupid faith, though. You really do. Like, it's so mind-boggling. Like, to the point where you're the type, you would literally just walk up into a wall knowing that you're going to walk right through that bitch. Like, I'm talking like stupid faith, collective, but it's effective and it works. And you're showing, you're giving that space. You created that space for source God to really show up and show out how he wants to show up and show out. And you've created that space. So now God is showing up and showing out in your life. And if he hasn't already done so, it's coming. It's on the way. So you need to stay in position. Collective, if this is you that I'm talking to, if this message resonates with in any way, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, okay? If this is your first time here on my channel, please make sure you subscribe. I would love to have you a part of our tribe, okay? And if you're returning, y'all know how we do over here. Thank y'all so much for the continued support. I love y'all. It's Kar. I'm signing out. Bye.